Let me ask you something. If landing the perfect partner actually made a person happy forever, then why do so many self-made millionaires still cheat? Why do the most successful actors in Hollywood, the ones with the mansions and the magazine covers, keep ending up divorced? Why do professional athletes who could have anyone they want still get caught sliding into someone's DMs 18 months into a marriage everyone called a fairy tale? And it's not just the rich and famous. Go back further. Kings who owned entire kingdoms, who had more wealth and more wives than any one person could ever need, still spent their nights chasing someone new. So here's the real question. What is a person actually chasing when they cheat, when they swipe, when they can't stop wondering about someone else? Is it really a better partner? Or is it something else entirely? Something most of us have never been taught to name. Stay with me to the end of this video, because by the time it's over, you are going to look at your own relationships differently. And I mean that. I used to believe the formula for a good life was simple. Study hard, land a good job, meet someone attractive and kind, get married, and life basically finishes assembling itself after that. I know I'm not the only one who grew up thinking that. Almost every movie fed us that message. The rom-com always ends the same way, right when the couple finally gets together. Because apparently, that's the finish line, not the starting line. The songs on the radio said the same thing. Find the right person, and every problem you've ever had just quietly disappears. Then I started actually watching the people around me live their lives. Some people married for love and were still miserable. Some people had arranged marriages, or met on a dating app, or got set up by friends, and they were miserable too. Some couples who looked completely put together on Instagram, matching outfits, beach vacations, the whole aesthetic, were falling apart behind closed doors. And some people who never made a big public deal about their relationship at all had something quietly solid. So for a while, I thought, okay, maybe the problem is marriage itself. Maybe commitment is just broken. But that's not it either. The real answer sits somewhere much closer to home. It's not about the institution. It's about what's happening inside our own heads before we even get there. Here's what's actually going on. We don't fall in love with a person as much as we fall in love with a story we've written about that person. And that gap between the real human being and the character we invented in our imagination is where almost every relationship problem is quietly born. Let me tell you about a friend of mine. 2 years into his marriage, we finally caught up after a long stretch of both of us being busy. I asked him the obvious question, "How's married life?" He smiled, but it was one of those tired smiles. Then he said something like, "She's not a bad person, but it just doesn't feel the way it used to." I've heard some version of that sentence from more people than I can count. It never used to feel like this. At first I thought maybe people just change after marriage. Maybe the version of them you fell for quietly disappears. But that's backwards. What actually happens is this. Before the relationship, we don't know the other person nearly as well as we think we do. So our brain fills in the blanks. It builds a whole imagined future. Weekend trips. Being fully understood without having to explain yourself. A partner who never gets tired, never gets irritated, never has an off day. None of that is a real human being. That's a character we built out of hope. And then reality shows up. The real person gets tired. The real person gets short with you after a bad day at work. The real person doesn't always get what you meant. And it's exactly in that collision, between the fantasy we quietly installed and the actual, breathing, flawed human being standing in front of us, where the real test of any relationship begins. There's actually a name for part of what's happening here in psychology. Researchers who study romantic relationships, including work by the psychologist Sandra Murray, found that early on, couples build what's called positive illusions about each other. We literally see our partner as slightly better, slightly kinder, slightly more understanding than an outside observer would rate them. It's not lying to ourselves exactly. It's more like our brain giving the relationship a head start. The problem isn't that this happens. The problem is when we mistake that idealized version for the whole truth, and then feel betrayed later when the real person doesn't match the character we built. So if the real issue is imagination colliding with reality, why do people go looking for someone else instead of just adjusting their expectations? That's where this gets more interesting. The deeper issue usually isn't the marriage. It's the expectations we quietly load onto another human being. Think about how people actually meet before they commit to each other. Everyone shows up as their best self. Best outfit, best conversation, best mood. Both people are, in a way, auditioning. Hours of easy conversation. What's your favorite color? What music do you like? All the fun, low-stakes stuff. But once real life sets in, the day doesn't start with romance. It starts with an alarm clock, then traffic on the way to work, then a bill that needs paying, or the school asking for tuition, or somebody not feeling well. Both partners turn into regular tired humans doing regular tired human things. And that's exactly when someone's real personality shows up, because a person gets irritable, a person gets exhausted, a person has a bad day and takes 2 extra seconds to answer with patience. Here's the mistake most people make in that moment. They think, maybe I picked the wrong person. But the person isn't wrong. What's wrong is the picture we built of who that person was supposed to be. A lot of this actually traces back to how we were raised on stories. Disney movies, romance novels, every love song on the radio. They all quietly train us to expect a hero or a heroine, not a human being. Someone who completes us, who reads our mind, who never runs out of patience. When that fantasy inevitably breaks, we experience it as heartbreak. But look closer, and you'll see, we're not actually disappointed in the marriage. We're disappointed that the fantasy didn't survive contact with a real life. The person didn't fail us. The imagination did. So then, why do people run towards someone new instead of running toward understanding? This is where attraction itself comes into the picture, and there's real science behind it. Researchers like the anthropologist Helen Fisher have studied how romantic attraction behaves almost like a chemical high in the brain, driven by novelty and uncertainty. And like most chemical highs, it doesn't stay at the same intensity forever. This isn't a flaw specific to your relationship. It's closer to a universal pattern called hedonic adaptation, which basically means the brain gets used to good things over time and needs something new to feel that same spark. It happens with a new job, a new house, a new phone, and yes, it happens with a partner too. The butterflies calm down. That's not proof love is dying. That's just biology settling into something steadier. But if a person doesn't understand that this settling is normal, they interpret it as a warning sign. They think, the spark is gone. This must mean it's over. Or worse, this must mean I married the wrong person. And that's usually the exact moment somebody new enters the picture. A coworker who actually laughs at your jokes. An old flame who resurfaces on social media. A stranger's attention that suddenly feels electric again because it's new, because it hasn't been tested by traffic and bills and bad days yet. And the person chasing that feeling isn't actually looking for a new human being. They're looking for that early rush of imagination they had at the very beginning of their current relationship, the one they've since lost touch with. Both partners, most of the time, are going through this exact same thing on parallel tracks. He thinks, she's changed. She used to be so easygoing. She thinks, he's changed. He used to make time for me. Neither one realizes the other person feels the exact same confusion, staring at someone they don't fully recognize anymore, wondering where the person they fell for went. Nobody actually vanished. Both people simply grew past the highlight reel they showed each other in the beginning. So where does the answer actually live? It doesn't live in finding a new partner. It doesn't live in the relationship itself either. It lives in your own self-understanding and how honestly you're able to look at what you're doing and why. This isn't a video telling you not to fall in love or telling you not to get married. Go ahead and do both, fully, wholeheartedly. But understand your own mind first, because once you actually understand what's happening inside your own head, you stop making decisions out of confusion. Here's something worth sitting with. When someone believes a partner exists to complete them, to make their life whole, they're quietly placing an impossible weight on another person's shoulders. Nobody can carry that weight forever. No human being, no matter how loving, can be responsible for someone else's entire sense of wholeness. And when that weight gets too heavy, relationships don't usually break because the love ran out. They break because the gap between what someone expected and what reality actually delivered grew too wide to ignore. If there's one thing worth carrying with you after this video, let it be this. Whenever you're heading into a relationship, or you're already deep inside one, go in with clarity, not fantasy. Not because love is dangerous, but because illusions are what actually break relationships, not the people inside them. Stay clear-eyed. Stay honest with yourself about what you're actually asking of another person. Tonight, before you fall asleep, ask yourself one honest question. Am I in love with this person? Or am I in love with the story I built about them in my head? Sit with the difference for a second. That one distinction might be the thing that changes how you see every relationship you're ever in, starting now. If this video made you think even a little differently, drop a comment and tell me, I love the person, not just the story I built about them. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel, because we'll keep going deeper into the psychology of how we really think and why we really do the things we do.